First of all, let me convey our sincere appreciation to the organizers of this program for offering us this platform to be able to tell what we do. The Nigerian Shippers Council is a federal government agency, and I'll tell you what we don't do before I now tell you what we do. And I have to tell you what we don't do because of that particular word, shipper, in our name. Many a times people come to us and say, I want to buy ship. How do I go about it? People say to us, I want to bring in consignment from point A to point B, which liner, conference, which whatever should I use? We don't do that. A lot of people come to us and they talk to us about the fact that they want to be involved in maritime related trade, especially the shipping aspect of it, simply because of the name, the word shipper in our name. We don't do that. But what we do is simply, or what we were doing up until 2014 was simply to protect the interests of the cargo owners. Internationally, the word shipper is used for importer and exporter. Those are the owners of the cargo. Nigerian Shippers Council was established in 1978 by the instruments of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD. And it is not only in Nigeria that you have Shippers Council. All developing nations were encouraged to have Shippers Council as a means of protecting the owners of the cargo from the providers of the shipping services, either as in clearing agent, either as in customs, either as in MPA, either as in all other, as many freight forwarders, as many as that are providing the services. That was what we were created for, to make sure that the Nigerian importers and exporters are not at the point of disadvantage when they were doing their business. And we ran that till 2014 when our mandate changed. And that is what qualifies us now to come to a place like this and start talking about how do we talk about safety in transportation. In 2014, our mandate changed from just being the protector of the owners of the cargo. We now became the economic regulator of Nigerian ports. And when you're talking about Nigerian ports, you're not only talking about seaports. You're talking about airport. You're talking about even the rail and every other thing. Now, understand the word economic regulator, because it's very important. If you don't understand that word, it could make you to begin to see us in conflict with NCAA. People will say, they are regulator. They want to come and take the job of NCAA. NCAA is essentially the technical regulator. Am I wrong, sir? Yes. A technical regulator and also the economic regulator of the aviation industry. Now, what do we do? How do we go about it? Let me say this. Essentially, we are more inclined towards the maritime industry because what led to us being designated or being given the responsibility was that after the port reforms, when the ports were concessioned to the terminal operators, a lot of things were done in the contract, in the agreement. There wasn't provision made for the agency that will regulate the aftermath of that development. So it was a free for all. MPA had stopped being the owners of the port. They've concessioned the port out. MPA became the landlord, and the terminal operators became like the lords to themselves, arbitrary fixing of charges, local shipping charges, arbitrary fixing of clearing charges, so many things, diversion of cargoes without recourse to anything. Who will catch us? Who is going to hold us responsible? So it was in the light of checking that challenge that the government looked and said, this particular agency, the Nigerian Shippers Council, is more or less like well prepared to take up the responsibility of the economic regulator of the Nigerian ports. And what it means is that everything that is involved trade, everything that is involved facilitation of trade, creating a level playing field among all the stakeholders. No longer do we now concentrate on the importers and exporters. We must ensure that the interests of the shipping companies are properly protected. Because whether you like it or not, sometimes you find the owners of the cargoes wanting to play on the intelligence of the shipping companies. We now have to work towards making sure that the interests of the terminal operators are properly protected. We now have to make sure that we encourage and facilitate trade, international trade facilitation. So that in essence is what we do. But how do we relate to what we have on ground now? In facilitating trade, the Nigerian Shippers Council has been promoting two key elements. But the most important one that is relational to what we're discussing now is what we call the Truck Transit Park, TTP. The Truck Transit Park is different from a normal park. My last brother will tell you that there are parks that will say, but it's different because it is essentially created to ensure safety and security of goods and vehicles. Safety in the sense that more or less we have this TTP on areas where most of these highways, express road, going to out of Lagos and what have you, we encourage investors so that they could form a truck transit park in which you will have places where drivers will have a place to rest. They will shower like a motel. You will have filling station where vehicles can fill, recharge. You will have what do you call this fire service. You will have everything, police station, and you will have stores. Everything that will make sure that the drivers are not being subjected to harrowing experience that will now make them to be sleeping while driving. That is as per the safety. Not only the safety of the driver, the safety of every other person. Because when you look at it, most of the accidents that happen on the road can be attributed to fatigue. Fatigue. And often than not, we know the conditions under which they stay. They stay by the road. They sleep beside the road. Mosquitoes have eaten them. Some of them are down with malaria. Rather than going for treatment, what do? They drink paraga. They will say, we'll use it to they will take these things just to be able to be agile to drive. But you cannot cheat nature. If you're sick and you are not resting very well, over time, the man that has taken the paraga will wear off. He starts dozing. And he goes crashing his vehicle onto other vehicle. And definitely, he will have accidents. So what the Nigerian Shippers Council is doing is to make sure that we encourage investors to come on board, because it will take mass of land. It's not just mass of land where you have truck, and not only, even though it is designated a truck transit park, it is not intended mainly only for the trucks. No, it is also to be used by other cars, other car users. If you know you're traveling and you know you're tired, rather than forcing yourself to a town where the next hotel is, look for a truck transit park. You have a good hotel there, you check in, you sleep, you have your bath, you're refreshed. You can even do it for 2 or 3 hours and you continue your journey. So what we in Nigerian Shippers Council is doing is to make sure that the safety of the road users are secured, and to make sure that the security of the goods, because security in the sense that most of these truck drivers that carry things on the road, when they don't have a place to park, nature will come and they will slip off. and some people will prefer with whatever it is they carry. But when you are in a truck transit park, there's a police station. You park there. The security of your goods are guaranteed. And at every given time, you go ahead to see that things are being done. So, as it's related to what T360 is doing, the Nigerian Shippers Council is one agency that is ready to partner with every other agency towards the safety and the security of Nigerian roads. Any other question, any other contributions will come in due course of my presentation.
Thank you very much. Please let us appreciate the lecture that you have just given to us. Thank you. These lectures are things that you don't just get. I'm sure some people pay before they get such lectures. We want to also appreciate you again once more. We want to kind of restructure the introduction because we want to make it as small as possible. We want to manage the time so that at least we can have a better interactive section between the audience also. So in that vein, I want to especially welcome the representative of LASMA, and I want him also to take cognizance of the time that we might just want to limit it to just 5 minutes, and we can use just the remaining 2 minutes just to round up as in total 7 minutes. Thank you, sir. Mr. Oshitime. If I need to start doing the introduction of this man coming, I might not just leave here today. My Ogasa, because we have our elderly people around, the use of our vocabulary also, sir, we need to take cognizance so that at least they can get the message better. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ayo Oshitime, a director in LASMA, representative of Wale Musa, the general manager of LASMA. LASMA was created 13th of July 2000. What is the vision of LASMA? The vision of LASMA is to regulate, control and manage traffic statewide in Lagos State. What is the mission? Mission is for us to reduce rate of deaths, congestion, traffic delays by employing modern traffic management techniques and regulate road accidents on Lagos roads. What are the functions of LASMA? Number one is traffic control and enforcement, driver certification, managing of traffic, research and planning, managing safety on the road, also cooperating with other sister agencies on traffic management on the highway. LASMA is made up of almost close to 4,000 personnel. We have 42 area offices, but we call zonal offices in LASMA. We have 18 area commands and 4 area controllers. Basically, what we do in LASMA is just to control traffic so that when you are going out on the road, you have the access to navigate and get to wherever you are going. Then we remove obstruction, breaking down vehicles on the road. We educate drivers, we go to parks, give them enlightenment, tell them how they can drive safely and also commune on the road with ease. That's basically what we do in LASMA. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that very, very brief insight to what LASMA is doing. I'm sure most of us are preparing our questions. Let us hold our pens. I'm sure we can write and jot our questions down. At the appropriate time, we'll be given the equal opportunity to ask questions, and I'm very sure the panelists are very much equal to answer the question. Also with me, I have one of my Oga. I've had the opportunity to meet him in the office, and I think he changed the perception of some of us that have this phobia to be on the air. Because the last time I went to Abuja with plane, I think they said there was this turbulence. We had to stay on the air for like almost 20-30 minutes. And in fact, I became Wuli Woro, and I started praying so that at least we can have an easy landing. So I want to especially recognize the representative of NCCA. NCA, yeah, sorry about that. What? It's still morning. Good morning to all of us. I want to thank the organizers for, and the third one, South Africa, 3 of them. And if you train there, you pass out as a pilot. Then until you get employment, you can't get the license. So when you get employment with any airline, for that matter, your employer will now present you to NCA. You now have to do exam again. When you pass, we'll give you a license that qualifies you to be in the cockpit to fly. Until that is done, you can't fly. You may be an employee of an airline until you pass that exam and get a license. It's different from the certificate you got from the institution where you train. The same thing with the engineers. The same thing with the cabin crew or the flight, anybody for that. Even the aeromedical, those who attend to them, they all hold license. It is that license we use to control the system. You violate or you are not up to the standard, we withdraw the license. So you'll be able to operate anywhere in the world. So it's a linkage all over the world. And if you go out of Nigeria to work in any country of the world, then they employ you there. They will also require you to do their own exam. You pass, they give you a license. Your license from Nigeria becomes a souvenir. That is how it is. If a pilot is foreigner, employed by a Nigerian operator, that license is coming will become a souvenir because it must sit for our exam and pass. The exam you do for a foreigner will involve even indoctrination, the language and all the rest. So this is how we control the personnel. And of course the aircraft that is flying, oh, how do you know it's safe? You can't know whether aircraft is safe or not by just looking at it back. It is the documentation. Every aircraft that is flying that is on our register, we have every documentation, even the one that is coming from the factory that is still going to come. Every changes about, things keep changing about it, they keep sending it to us. So we have everything about it. And until it is safe, and we issue that's what we call certificate of airworthiness, that like the road worthiness issued by the VIS. We also issue what is called certificate of airworthiness for every aircraft flying. And that is the document they will check wherever you take your aircraft to any country of the world. They will seek to see that document. And if there is anything they honor from Nigeria, it is that document we issue in respect of every plane that are flying. They believe in our authority, they have that confidence, they honor all over the world. So every aircraft have it, and you don't fly without carrying it with you. Because if you are going to be inspected anywhere in the world, the first question they ask you is that, where is your C of A? Certificate of airworthiness, issued to you from your country of origin, which is from NCA. And of course, when it is due for maintenance, we also have document to know when each one is due. And if you don't go for it, you are on ground, you remain on ground until it is done. It means you are no longer safe. And when the maintenance is done, we are there, we send the inspector down to counter check. You take a plane to only where we approve. You can take your car to any mechanic garage for service. You don't take a plane to where you like. You take it to approved place, which we also are going to send an inspector to check when it is being done. And when the maintenance is done with, they will issue what we call certificate of release, which will indicate the kind of maintenance carried out when the next one will be due. And that is how you follow up on the maintenance. There is no waiver given when the maintenance falls due. You don't get a waiver for that until it is done, it remains on ground. The insurance also, if insurance expires, there is no, in fact, you don't operate by yourself. You grant your own operation once your insurance expires on each aircraft. So it's not, there's nothing like third party in the aircraft insurance. All is comprehensive. You insure the aircraft, you insure the personnel, you insure those who will be on board, and you insure the ground. If God forbid, if an aircraft fall on it, even on the plant, insurance cover the ground also. If you fall on building, if you fall on the farm produce or whatever, the insurance company will compensate the owners. So it's a comprehensive thing that is so. That is why aviation business is very, very capital intensive. It's not a question of 1 billion. It's capital intensive. And also we'll talk about the environment which is operating, which is the airport authority. We regulate their operations, they hold our license. And of course, the airspace where it's operating, we regulate them also, which is Nigeria Airspace Management Agency. They hold our license. The airports are under control also. Every airport, you build it, before it's open to operation, it's certified to meet safety requirements before it can be allowed to operate. So in short, in totality, everything our operation revolve around that aircraft. All we are doing to ensure it's in safe condition at all times to move from one point to the other, take us there safely, and of course our goods also. Thank you very much at this point. Thank you very much, sir, for that beautiful brief introduction of what your agency is into. I could say from here now that the plane where would they fly safe to they get MOT. Abi Oga, they say airplane to they get MOT. Oga, anywhere we fit test and they decide. This plane, they say this place no fit contain airplane or they for test and for this side too. I haven't listened to the representative of NCAA. I also want to quickly move to VIS, VIO. I'm sure they will talk about it, the difference, because we always get confused somehow. Representative of the VIS will surely give us what they are into also.
Yeah, thank you very much. I would like to start by thanking the organizer of this program, Transsafe 360-degree. I would like to thank them for organizing such a program to educate the public on safety on our road. The vehicle inspection service, ensures that all vehicles, number one, vehicle inspection service ensures that all vehicles plying our road are roadworthy. And formerly, we used to test vehicle. That we test vehicle physically. That is, we test vehicle physically. But now, we now test vehicle by computerized system. If you can see, this is one of the computerized system. Those days we check the suspension, we check the how the vehicle moves, the suspension, we check the light, we check whether the vehicle has wiper, whether it has brake system and all. But now we check this vehicle on through computer. That's why the Lagos State government has introduced these computer centers. Then 2, training and testing of applicants for driver's license. Driver's license is the testing of drivers and certifying them for driver's license is tripartite arrangement. The MVA is involved, the VIO, the road safety. We do the testing of drivers for driver's license. Then for driver's license, that is, those drivers will go through the MVA. When they go through the MVA, they don't do the documentation in the MVA. Then they are now moved to the VIS for testing. The testing is carried out. We do the testing, practical testing. We test them. Those who apply for fresh, who have not gotten driver's license before, we test them, their competency in driving. When they go for after that testing, they go for a test. They go for the test now is now computerized based. When the pass mark of that test is 75%. So after they complete the test, they now move to the federal road safety for capturing. They go for biometric and capturing. Then they now move, when they finish the capturing, they now go and collect their driver's license from the MV. There's pre-registration now in Lagos State. there is what they call the pre-registration exercise going on in Lagos State now. Before your vehicle is being registered, being given number plate, they do the VINs, they send the vehicle's chassis number, so that they check what the history of that vehicle, you know. Then if that is satisfied that that vehicle is okay, because many vehicles, you know, many vehicles sent from overseas to Nigeria, most of them, some of them are stolen. So when we check that that vehicle is okay, it's not stolen, is done, then they they give you number plate. This is just a newly introduced system of registration now in Lagos State. Any licensing office you go to, you will find a VIS there. Before any plate number is being registered, the VIO will do the checking. Then there's the AMPRO. You will discover that nowadays you do not find VIO on the streets checking physically vehicles. The present administration introduced the AMPRO all over the state. The cameras have been installed all over. Those cameras will pick the number plate. It will not tell when the plate numbers has expired. I mean, when the vehicle particulars of that vehicle is expired, whether the roadworthiness, the vehicle license, anything that has to do with that vehicle, you pick it, register it to the database, then the bills, fine tickets, that is the bills, will be sent to each homes, and very soon you will be receiving bills. Cameras are all over. You will be receiving bills in your homes now. That's all I can tell you about the vehicle inspection service.
Thank you very much for a message well passed. And I'm very sure we are very much ready to also give questions. And because if I've asked, I will be willing to ask 1001 questions from VIS based on what we have just been told and from what we've been hearing. Because I know VIS are doing a lot of jingles, they have a lot of presentations on both radio, TV, and what have you. But when the time comes, we should be expecting a lot of questions. While that is going on, we have the representative of Federal Road Safety Corps. I'm still waiting. While we are waiting for the name, we want to specially recognize and allow representative of LASRI to also quickly give justice to what LASRI is into.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the organization, the organizers of this program, and all those that have spoken earlier. I want to say thank you. They've done a lot of groundwork for me. And mine is just to come on board and tell us one or two things. Do we have anyone here who does not understand English? Any? No. Thank you very much. Okay then. We were established in 2009. My presentation will come in form of question. I anticipated some questions and I put answers to them. And I know more questions will come from you later on. Reasons for establishing us. We realized that before LASRI came on board, we had LASTMA, we have VIS, we have FRSC, we have police, everyone doing just one work primarily, and that is the work of enforcement. In spite of all this enforcement, we still have accidents increasing almost on a yearly basis. So the government thought it wise and said, come, let us have a training for these people. And from our statistics, that has reduced a lot of accidents in Lagos State. So we're established primarily to train and retrain drivers. What do we do and how do we operate? What and how do we operate? We have a research and statistics department that does our work for us. And of course, we coordinate. There's coordination between us and other sister agencies, the perfect one. Our primary aim is to train and retrain drivers in order to recertify them for safety on Lagos roads. On Lagos roads, and we do that every year, especially anyone that earns his or her living from driving must pass through LASRI. Is a law in Lagos State. And of course, the conditions for coming to LASRI: you must not be a first liner driver. That is, you are not a first time driver. You must already possess Lagos State, Ibile. We have LASRI in Ikeja. The Ikeja Center is at Oshodi. LASRI is in Ikorodu. LASRI is in Ekpe, LASRI is in Island, and of course also in Badagry. We have 5 centers for now. And of course, we partner with all law-abiding organizations. You can invite us to come over to give you training in your place. We can do that. We have 3 levels of training. We have the annual mandatory training that all drivers are supposed to have, especially if you are commercial or you earn your living from driving. And of course, if you are arrested by LASMA, they send you to us for a course. We call it rehabilitation course. That takes about 2 days. And of course, we also have what we call structured course. You can invite us to your organization and package a course for you, tailor-made specifically for your organization. This is what we do. And I'll be expecting your question. Thank you very much.
I introduce myself as Adebola Adeomi Ojubele. I never refuse to tell you where I'm working. I am a LASMA, and I can do justice to that when I'm on the road. But when it comes to the issue of holding this mic, we have experts that we've been expecting, and I think it's around now. Some of us are very familiar with traffic radio. We know MCIs. MCIs, please let us welcome him, please. Let us know him, please. I think he can take the mic from here and he will continue. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Good morning, just afternoon now. So let me be the first to say good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, please. Good afternoon, sirs. You know, we are always on point, as it were. I'm sorry, I just had to, I was somewhere else too, but because of the deal, I had no choice. I had to get here. Most importantly, so that we all will be able to, you know, keep the course of our safe driving, you know, keep enhancing it. And of course, I'm happy we have all the stakeholders here present. Please, can we turn our hands together for ourselves, ladies and gentlemen? Let's appreciate ourselves very well. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've started this already, and we're so sure. You know, I kept asking, okay, Lagos Computerized Vehicle Inspection Service, LACFIS, and most of us have always talked about LACFIS for one thing or the other, and I'm sure we have all the representatives here. We also have the taxi and cab operators right here present. We have the NCAA and the person who just spoke now, our friend from LASRI, right? Well done, sir. I remember having you on the show some other time. And also we have our friend from LASMA in the house. Where's my guy from LASMA? Okay, well done, boss. All right, and who else? Shippers Council. Right, well done, boss. And of course, we also have the call commander representative in the house already. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be doing justice to all that and many more. All right, okay. Do we have a space there for him? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please, for her rather. Okay, no, but since she's representing the call Masha, I mean, so I can use the post of the organ for her. Yes or yes?
It's permittable.
If my friend, what is his name now? Bobrisky should come here. Will you call he a she or a he? Shim. It should be Shim. It should be Shim. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, join me as we make welcome to the high table, a representative of the Corps Marshal, Lagos State. Ladies and gentlemen, please your hands together for Assistant Corps Commander in our own position, Awa Oluwokere, please. Thank you. Please keep jamming those hands together for our ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, please. Aha, thank you. Aha. But really, if it had anything to do with, the dressing, every officer should be a he, yes or yes? The trouser and all that. I think last month, at times I see some last month women on skirts. I don't know deeper like that. I know. No safety, no man was skirts. The police, I know police also. But I don't was skirts in the police. I don't know bribe with you. In police, so I have my two. I know two of them like that somewhere. You're a police officer. But am I saying the truth? I'm saying the truth. All right. But of course we have them, and I'm so sure we all are here. We're here to have fun and to learn more. In as much as we keep forging ahead in the level of transportation and getting it right. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I call on the Lagface Oga here, Mr. Edward Labi, I want us to just, meet one another one more time, please. If you do not mind, can you just introduce yourself to the person seated by your side? Say neighbor. Neighbor. Can you just introduce yourself to your neighbor? Say neighbor. Say neighbor. You are looking so beautiful.
Looking so great.
If your neighbor na man know the beautiful and handsome, I wonder whether I go get them or not. Thank God say you talk great. You do well. Be like say they go PTA. So your children don't they help the matter. All right then. So I want you to please look at the neighbor's face. Say neighbor. Look at that. I'm gonna look on her face now. Say be like this thing we can't do. Say neighbor. So give your neighbor your ATM card and give that your neighbor the PIN number. Why? Are you scared?
Acceptable.
If you want my own, I'll give you. But it got to be a lady, not the man. I don't do men, please. I like woman and I just straightforward. Like Two-Face would say. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the deal. And right about now, it's time to bring on to the microphone the Lagface Oga right here. And we're talking about the Lagos Computerized Vehicle Inspection Service. Ladies and gentlemen, in person of Mr. Edward Labi. Let's jam our hands together. Keep clapping, please. Now they are compound with me. If they send us out, what will you do? Please.
Good day. Thank you very much, the organizers of this program. I want to stand on the existing protocol and appreciate all of us here today. Before I start, I think my Oga from the VIS have already given the technical details of what goes in the inspection bay. And then my boss too from NCC, if I'm right, has also given us the not been given the need it deserves over the years. He gave us all the requirements that before an aircraft gets on air, you need to have certificate that tells you that the aircraft is okay. The pilot needs to be certified as well. But on the road transport sector, all these things, we've not given it the needed attention it deserves. Lagos is becoming a smart city. The government thought it wise that we cannot continue to do the way we used to do things before. So in order to meet up with the global standard, computerized vehicle inspection was born to ensure that our vehicles plying the route are tested before RW, what we call RW, roadworthiness certificate, is issued to them. So to sum it all up, because my boss have already given us the technical details, I just want us to have the history and then the origin for all this setup. Globally, it's being done. Vehicles are being tested before they are given the RW. So Lagos cannot be left out because Lagos is becoming a smart city. So we have 10 centers strategically located within the state, but that is not going to be all. We're still pushing to ensure that by the close of this year, we're going to have 20 centers. Hopefully next year we are going to add more to ensure that we bring vehicle inspection center close to you. Then you have no excuse to say the center is so far, that's why I couldn't test my car. But before I take my seat, I want to ask all of us here that how many of us have had our vehicle tested? I want to know. Okay, thank you very much. So it's an indication that few of us have had our vehicle tested. Assuming that this is an aircraft, do you think you'll be allowed to use it? No way. We see on daily basis travelers stranded on road because the vehicles have broken down. Why? It's because of poor maintenance. So please, I want to plead with all of us that let's have our vehicle tested. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please can we give it up one more time for Mr. Edward Labi, please. And I think part of roadworthiness and all that, you know, at times we clamor for different level of, roadworthiness. Some people would ask, is the road car-worthy? Yeah, yes or yes? Yeah. We're here to define the rules for being car-worthy. Yeah? All right then. We'll be shaking the tables as the spirit leads, right? We're here. I'm not on radio. When I'm on radio, you know, we have to be. But here I'm on land. Somebody the other day said, MCIs, you look different. The way you talk when you're on radio is different from when I say yes. When I'm on radio, I'm on air. But now I'm on land. I talk differently. All right, so we can shake the tables, but we'll definitely get there. But one thing I detest a lot about the Nigerian roads and all that is, I said it the other day, I think 3 or 4 days ago, that show me a car in Nigeria that is looking neat, no stain, and I will show you a car that just left the painter's shop. Yeah. Yes or yes? Yes. I repainted this one I brought in here last week Friday, and just 2 nights ago, you can see someone brushed it, and when you came out of the car, Joe Mabinu, Omomi, Joe, say I'm very sorry. Anything to bash you, Jare, Joe Mabinu. What is Mabinu? If I say make okay guy, where your insurance is thing? Mabinu, we are not landing. Mabinu. You have insurance. Let me call your insurance now. Say now my own insurance I could use all the time. So I just called my insurance people yesterday. You see that money you guys gave me, I've done it too, but they bashed it again. What do we do? He said, oh God, don't worry, they'll come and snap it. Shebi is insurance. You have paid your money. You know, Nigerians hardly use it. We pay 5,000 naira. Yeah. The one I do is 75 GNI, what is it called? You know, 2-in-1, more like, you know, not comprehensive and not this thing, but we don't make use of it, and they'll keep just having fun. So ladies and gentlemen, bring it up to the microphone this time around. Let's just see what the agency is all about and what we are here to tap from them. Ladies and gentlemen, the representative of the Corps Marshal, make some noise as we make welcome Assistant Corps Commander Awa Oluwokere. Please, let's have a hand together for her, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, all. I thought that was the password, so I was heading towards that direction. I thank you all this afternoon, and I thank the organizers of this program. I'm Assistant Corps Commander Hawa Olowokere, the Unit Commander, Lagos Island, representing Corps Commander Hyginus Omeje, the Sector Commander, Lagos State. FRSC. Why did FRSC even come into existence in the first place? The federal government thought it wise at a point in 1988. Incidentally, FRSC is 30 years old today. On the 18th of February 2018, we celebrated 30 years of existence. Why did this come into being? It was discovered that there was an endemic scourge. There was an ailment that was taking people much more than the dreaded HIV or any other disease that is taking lives this day. And that was crashes, avoidable crashes. People were losing their loved ones on daily basis, on regular basis. People were being maimed, people were just getting down because of issues that could have been handled. And why was this so? Research has it that 80% of road traffic crashes are human related. Other reasons are environmental and mechanical factors. And I'm happy here today we have relevant stakeholders who have touched on these areas. And I also want to give it to Lagos State, the Lagos State government. They have identified, taken time to identify these issues and are on the spot tackling them as it comes. And that is why we have agencies lined up here today in existence. The scourge has been endemic. The scourge has been causing untold hardship on people. On daily basis, we have to embark on crashes, rescue missions. We have to ensure that our roads are made safe. And that is why one of the mandates of the Federal Road Safety Corps is to ensure that we educate the motoring public. Is to ensure that every road user has the consciousness of safety on our road. And that we have been battling. And having a stakeholders meeting of this today gives us the hope and encouragement that the society we are living in has deemed it fit, now appreciates the value of one life, losing one life at least on the road. And so what we do, we educate the motoring public. We ensure that as much as possible we let you in on the do's and don'ts of the road. Even before you commence your journey, you have to be prepared for that journey. There's something called journey management. If you don't plan for your journey, you may and at the same time, you may end up arriving at your destination. But chances are, you may not get there at the time or in one full swing. And why is this so? Because we fail to do certain things we ought to do. Some of us embark on journeys, and after loading our vehicles with occupants and goods, we now arrive at the bay for way balancing and alignment. We just drive to Baba Mofiu, and the man will come and hit the tire for you and tell you, I know this one, 70. So some of these have led us into untold hardship, unavoidable deaths that could have been the other way around. And so we advise, and even in this season of the Ember months, people have this fear and this thing about the months. There's nothing there. It's the same time. But because of the increase in vehicular movements, increase in activities, we want to round up the activities of the year. We tend to hype so many things and we want to make all we couldn't acquire from January through to this time. No, our attitude, and that is why the human factor is very important. We need to be in the right frame of mind to drive. I have been in opportunity to talk to drivers and they tell you, oh, I'm not making no more. We've been driving, in fact, that they use that card, paper, that one, in fact, I was not even born. I agree. But a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed. And in very few years now, you will find cars that drive themselves. So what will happen? So what we are saying, we have to move with the times. We have to upgrade our attitude, our psyche, and all around us to move with the times, to measure up to the prevailing challenges of the time. Our roads are not safe. Okay, MC talked about roads being certified, cars certified car worthy. We get there. But we have to be realistic. If you understand the road you're going to drive on, you need to condition yourself to get you to the destination. But if you have driving culture in these younger ones as the years roll by, we also find time to reach out to our religious places of worship. Fridays and Sundays we go to churches, mosques and churches as the case may be, distributing flyers, entertaining questions, trying to see how we can bridge the gap. Because it's one thing to even see somebody in uniform. Usually people feel we are unapproachable, but we try to be as much as possible because we are serving humanity. This is one agency that is set out to serve humanity. Whenever there's an issue, it doesn't have to do with the face, provided it's on the road. Provided you are mobile and anything happens, there we are. You'll find us there. And this doesn't happen alone. Here in Lagos, we've enjoyed the partnership with relevant stakeholders to a very, very large extent. And that has actually made our work easy. But it can still be made easier if we consolidate on our strengths. We all have our various strengths and our proficiencies. So in FRSC, this is what we do. We try as much as possible to get closer to the people, bringing the message down to the grassroots. We partner with vulcanized members of the National Road Transport Workers Association, NRTW, RATEN, even the vulcanizers, mechanic, all automobile associations, so that we can pass this message. It helps a long way to reaching out to the motoring public. And for these and more, you are free. Always come up to our offices, make inquiries. The issue of driving license, yes, we produce the licenses. We produce the licenses. It's our duty, and we produce, we design and we produce. Yes, you can always call on us as far as that is concerned. And then it's a tripartite arrangement. Yeah. It doesn't rest solely on Federal Road Safety Corps, but of course, road driver, you just say, it's FRSC. But the VIS is involved, State Board of Internal Revenue, Federal Road Safety Corps, all hands on deck to ensure that you have an authentic document that permits you to drive on Nigerian roads. Some tell us, okay, I've been in the UK, I've been in France, and I have the France driving license, and it permits me, if I come into the country, I'm allowed to use it. So you're not allowed to use it. You may just be pardoned, but there's no law that permits you to use your foreign driving license here in Nigeria. If you must drive, you need to get a driver to drive. And if you have a driver, please ensure. Something we also tell those in business who engage drivers, who recruit drivers, if you want to go into recruiting drivers, ensure you get valid information from that driver. Information that would ensure you don't have a headache. Because when issues come up, the driver would abandon your vehicle and go and say, he's been working with me, he gave me passport of a referee, you don't know the referee. So many things are involved in this, and the closer we get to one another, the more we'll be able to get some of this information. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please can we jam our hands together to appreciate the Assistant Corps Commander, Awa Olowo Kiri, representing the Sector Commander, Lagos Sector Commander, Ijinisu Major. Please can we jam our hands together for her one more time. All right, well, still right here is the stakeholders, annual stakeholders meeting. And of course, transportation has never been this fine up until when traffic radio came into mainstream of broadcasting. Yes or yes? Yes. So we're used to some of those messages. Unlike then, when we have such a forum, it's like, okay. But now I think it's very easier because we have the road safety numbers to call. That is 122. Yeah, nationwide. And I still want to see a situation where we'll have localized numbers, so that instead of calling the 122 and they pick it up in Abuja, then before radioing those on the road where I am, it might, we have the equivalent tax of the network issues. Nigeria is a wonderful place, but we know we keep getting better. All right, so I will must say thank you so much to Transsafe 360-degree Global Initiative for joining hands in bringing this to the fore and to the members of the public also. All right, guys, let's see how we go. We also have in our midst this afternoon one of the policy makers, as it were, is here to come observe and make sure every of the comments and wherewithal suggestion to making Lagos road safer rather, and at the end of the day, we'll be able to have a good road to drive on. We have a representative of the Ministry of Transportation, in person of Mr. Tuji Bakari, is here with us. Please, let's appreciate him. I don't know if he has a minute or two to say something to us from the ministry. Let's quickly just get that off. You're welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. I'm sure we are already in the afternoon. Yeah. Incidentally, I'm wearing the top of Lagos traffic radio. So you can as well take me for MC Isota. I bring to you the very warm greetings of the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation. Like the Master of Ceremony said, the ministry is in charge of formulating policies, provide guidelines and regulations as to what should happen in the transportation sector of Lagos State. So far, so good. Everything any of the agencies of the state government has said here today emanated from the tables in the ministry. In other words, when the policies are formulated in the ministry, we have those who implement on ground. And that is why you have the VIS. Whatever the VIS has told us today is one of those things, the product of the so very many meetings that the ministry will hold before arriving at decisions on what should happen on the Lagos road. I can tell you for free that aside the road transport sector that we kept talking about since we started this program today, the ministry is already working seriously on how we tap into the benefits of the various water bodies that we have in the state. We all know that Lagos is a littoral state. We have abundance of rivers, and for now, what we have is not too acceptable even to the government, take laws off to the people. So the government is working seriously on having the water transport subsector of the transportation sector in the state properly guided, so that you can go on water and feel as safe as you can feel on the road. Ultimately, the plan of the state government is that we will have what is known as integrated multimodal transport. What that does is this. Before you leave your house, you already know that it will take you 5 minutes to get to the bus stop. You get to the bus stop, you take a bus, and very soon we'll also launch the bus reform initiative. I'm sure that some of us who have gone around the Ikeja will have seen some of the buses. They're already parked there. We are just fine-tuning the plan so that these buses will also run to time. So that when you leave your house, you take any of these buses, you know that you are going to Victoria Island, for instance, from Mile 2. And let's say you are coming from Okokomaiko. You take a bus to Mile 2, right on time that it should take you. If it has been planned to take you 10 minutes, you get there in 10 minutes. And you are sure that in the next 5 minutes, a boat is ready to take you to Victoria Island or CMS. Or if it's even the rail that we have now going under construction, that delivery of that project will also take some additional time. But you know that whenever you get to Mile 2, or you can take the train, because the train ultimately will also take you to CMS, and there is plan ahead to have train running on the Lekki corridor too. But we are not going to stop at that. The ministry is also working towards having all the divisions of the state. As you already know, the 5 divisions are all on water. You have Badagry, you have Ikorodu, you have Ikeja, you have Epe, Lagos Island. There is no part of this state that cannot travel to on water. And the ultimate plan is to go into water transport, small boats, medium-sized vessels, and large ones. And ultimately, we may go into one of the reasons why some of us, like Brother Adroboye here, will go to Britain to go on a cruise. But ultimately, we will get there. You will all agree that all of this, the water subsector has been neglected for a long time. And the government, this particular government, is willing and is ready to ensure that we don't waste our time unnecessarily on the roads. Interestingly, the Ministry of Transportation in Lagos State also have an aviation desk. In fact, I can tell you for free that we have pilots in our employ. Yes, we do. And as we speak, so that all of these things would be coordinated properly, the state government is working on a transport policy for the state. And when this comes on board very early next year, it will be the only state in Nigeria that will have a transport policy. I know that, for instance, the federal government has worked on transport policy since the 90s, but it has always ended up as draft on somebody's table. But this time, 3 weeks ago, the state government constituted a committee of experts that will deliver the state's transport policy on or by the end of this year. Like I said, what you have here is one of the so many computerized vehicle inspection centers that will dot the landscape of the state. Ultimately, we plan to have 57, and that is to go to each of the local governments and the local council development areas of the state, so that, like my brother from Lavis said, you wouldn't have an excuse to say, no, the thing no dey my area and I ain't cause am. And these centers, wherever you find them, can take any size of vehicle, any size. So please patronize, and like those of us in the law area will say, anything that is called a law, regulation, rules, what was it? Status are all for us. And although I am a Muslim, I have a certificate in Christian theology, and I love the Bible very much, and I love us of the 10 Commandments. You see, when you are told by law not to do a particular thing, just remember the 10 Commandments. When the Mosaic law says, "Thou shalt not commit adultery," I ask people, "Ṣé Ọlọ́run lọ́mọ obìnrin ni ẹ bá ṣàgbèrè ni?" Àbí when it says, "Thou shalt not steal," does God have a car somewhere parked that somebody will steal? So it is in our interest to obey all laws, rules, and regulations that are made for the benefit of all of us, so that in the long run, all of us will say we have done our bit to make our country better. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you so much. Please, can we join me as we appreciate him? Let's give him a round of applause. From those who formulate the policies and all that, talking about the representative of the Ministry of Transportation, in person of Tuji Bakare. Please, let's appreciate him one more time. Thank you so much, sir. And I love, you spoke extensively concerning, transportation and the law, talking about the statutes and everything. Well, talking about that, I just got for myself a Quran also. Alaji Tujisa, I just got for myself a Quran also, but I've not started reading. No, it's not. This one is English. I attended a Muslim secondary school. Most people do not know. I went to Islam Model College, Agege, and so I'm called to prayer and all that. So, but I've always wanted to learn what is in the Quran, but I can't read Arabic. So I got an English one finally. I will start digesting so that when I come out to, I'll be able to say, yes, I know this and I know that. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, we're still right here. It's Transsafe 360-degree Global Initiative, talking about the annual stakeholders meeting. And we have who is who in transportation, as it were, in Lagos and in general, talking about Nigeria. We'll have our LASMA officer right here present, representing the GM, Dolali Musa. We have Oshitime Ayodele, ably seated already, and of course we have big Oga at the top, NCAA, Adrubo SA. Of course, I listen to his voice on Maritime Today, 24/7, always. We also have a representative of the taxi and cab operators, Mr. Kazim Ayoshino. We'll be coming to you very soon, sir. And also representative, right here from Blackface, Mr. Edward Labi. And you've never been stopped by them. So that means that person is spirit learning. So that means almost every one of us. Of recent, I think just 2 weeks ago, I was driving by Allen. I don't know if you know that Allen roundabout where you have their, stationary motor. I don't know if that motor has a battery or something. I don't know, but it's always there. For how many years now? And I remember I was driving by. It was I had an evening event. I wanted to go MC, somewhere. And immediately I got around there, my friend was driving me. Immediately we got there. He just said, I just had fact. Is it pack or fact? Fact. We said fact. Then the guy came and he said, can we meet you? I know if I've told him my name is MC Eyes, he would just, okay, MC Eyes. So I just said, my name is Micah Anwacha. These days, because I take the news with that name, it's becoming synonymous kind of also with the radio. But prior to that time, so immediately I just said, my name is Micah. He said, okay, Micah Anwacha, what do I do? Come down. I came out of the car. Said, okay, so what do I do? I said, officer, I'm a comedian. He said, oh, comedian? Where do you comedy? Officer, where do I commend? I commend everywhere, officer. In fact, where I dey go now, I wan go commend too. He say, Kai, as a comedian, I supposed to feel make me laugh. I say, ah, small thing now. He say, oh yeah, make me laugh. I tell am first joke, he no laugh. Second joke, he no laugh. Third joke, he no laugh. And I discover say the kind joke wey he need. You know say well, at times no be say comedians no dey funny, but the problem wey you dey go through. Person wey last man just catch him car, you gonna say you wan make am laugh. If you laugh, I die. Wey dey think of movie, or make you come be tax force. Tax force. Wetin be this my oga name wey dey tax force? Wetin be that bros name? Ọgbẹ́yẹmí taloso. No, is it Jimo? Yinka Ẹgbẹ́yẹmí ni ọ̀gá wọ́n ṣe decorate wọn wọ́n ṣe gorí òkè ọ̀bírísẹ̀. Ó wà lọ jẹ́ tax force ló wà rẹ̀ sẹ́ni náà. You want to make the person laugh. You die there. So first joke, second joke, third joke, he didn't laugh. So I understood his point. So I just said, officer, come. Let me make you laugh in the corner. So immediately we got to that corner behind the car. I just put my hand into the pocket. I had some change there. I just got down like 1K. I said, officer, I beg, manage this thing. Time don't dey go, I don't dey late. Immediately he saw the money, he started laughing. You're a very funny comedian. I live about the level of where you did. Very funny comedian. So as okay, officer, I don't make you laugh now. Can I leave, please? He said, okay, I know I go let you go, but see under the tree for there. I say, where? It be Peckers here. Girls, you see that place? I see officer, I dey here. I say, yes. He said, that's not my oga. Go and make him laugh too. Oh, he don't move some. So I understood the language and I just, I said, I'll drive there. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, right about now, it's all about a day talking about the other stakeholders forum on transportation, as it were, for us to be able to formulate and get things better off, so that we also, it's not all about the government doing everything, I don't think anybody will be able to do it all. Yes or yes? So we all need to come together, just like Mr. Chichi Bakari said, for us to be able to get things done. They can't just be doing it and think they would get it right without we that patronize the roads, as it were, the waterways, the air. How many of you saw the videos of the aircraft issue yesterday? God rest the soul of that pilot. They were just trying to prepare for the Independence Day parade. I don't know, but it is well. I learned the guy has been buried. So it's all about getting it right and making sure we all get it well. All right, quickly, we'll get to the question and answer time. And please, you can prepare your question. If you do not have the wherewithal to be able to ask your questions directly, you could write them out. Then it will be read and direct it accordingly to the person you might be directing the question to. But quickly, before we move into that, we have the representative of the taxi and cab operators here. I know most times they will tell me, you cannot enter one estate, you cannot enter one. I know during the time of Ekbeifa, they will call on air tire. Kini airport, one year wale, on our yellow kini, on the phase one, I don't know if it has changed. Has it changed? No. It has not changed? Yeah. Okay, so maybe the representative will be able to do something about that. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, let's jam our hands together as we have Mr. Kazim Ayinyoshino. Kawashino question, first of all. Taxi and cab operators, please.
Thank you, everybody. I come from Lagos State Taxi Driver Association and Cab Operator from 35 ADM Street. Taxi Cab and Association were ambassador driver. When you get motor, when you paper deal, without catching the taxi driver, you come here and come for test for road worthiness. They can obstruct it. This is our master. The same thing in road safety. We are going to road safety to collect our license when it deals. They are not a person where people will run and they say, God, let people do this. It's not our line. And the same thing. Now, for all this way the MOT is doing in Lagos, for all these new buses, bus stop now, they say we should bring our car to that junction. And that's why we go to Nero and carry the transport and insurance from Nasako. Anybody when drop our taxi, he gets accident, must get money from Nasako. So that is why anything on that question where you say by the estate, when they throw the question, I will tell you. Because our master prefer do a lot. And now as you go, you get anybody to call again. So, you have somebody by your side. Thank you. All right then.
Please, can we jam our hands together for him? So it's a no host band, like Ellie, so nǹkan tó jẹ yín lógún nínú ọkàn yín ẹgbẹ́ aṣọ gbogbo ẹ̀ mo lè sọ Yorùbá náà bí nǹkan tó ń dùn wọ́n lọ́kàn jù wọ́n lè sọ tó ń dùn wọ́n lọ́kàn kì í má pa kò sí a lè sọ Yorùbá ṣé Igbo náà wà níbí Igbo wà níbí Igbo tó wà níbí náà kò sí Igbo níbí jọ egun kọ́ egun ok èèyàn gbà ó. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the questions and answers. And if you have any question, please just signify by a show of hand. Okay, I have one. Please come sit so that we will just be able to get it right. Please signify by show of hand. Kó jẹ́ èdè Yorùbá náà lẹ́fẹ̀ẹ́ fi sọ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àtẹ̀síwájú láti rí pé Èkó tẹ̀síwájú òun ló jẹ wá lógún jùlọ. So lọ́jọ́ Mùsùlùkùn, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think we're good with the first 4. 4, hands. So please, you have the numbers already. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So anything direct question you see,
Good afternoon. We thank Transsafe 360-degree Global Initiative. My name is, and I stand on system protocol.
Is it inconclusive or conclusive?
All of the above. I'm still sitting on the existing protocol. I'm still sitting on your permission to sit down. Yes, sir. Well, the first question was directed to NCAA, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. He talked about not being able to drive inside the airport. Well, everything about aviation is regulated, controlled. Even my own movement as a staff, this is my card. I have my own official NCA card. Then you can see another red card with me. If this card is missing, it will cost me 3 million. I can hold you. You need the money, sir. I won't be able to pay. My organization will pay. Of course, you know what that means. They will be deducted from my salary. If it's missing. So, what is the use of this card? This is an all area, very, very serious one. All area. I can be in any part of the airport. So, you know how sensitive it is. People can use it for anything. Nobody will ask me a question if I hang it up anywhere in the airport. Be it at the tarmac or anywhere. Now, move away from that. There are issues of safety. We talk about our operations, comfort, safety, security. There are complaints. People are coming in all over the world to the airport. Sometimes, if you don't have a car that is registered, known to that industry, if they carry passengers and carry them away, how do you track? This obviously led to control of, that is why you have car hire within the airport. So every car hire that I, just like I thank God for the information I have from you, that computerization of your area, is the same thing with the airport. Carry your bag, whoever they carry, they know who is going out. Whether anything happens, if you forget your bag, they're going to bring it back, because at the time it moves, everything is registered and recorded. So for the safety of everybody and our image also, that is why the control is there. But there is nothing that is done, law, that cannot be reviewed. Even constitution is subject to review. I will now suggest that your, thank God you have organized body, can also approach the airport authority now. Airport authority issued this to us, even though we oversight them, but we all consider, just the consensus we reach now, we all agree, let one central body be issuing access control. If NCA issue is so far, now my everybody is issued, how do you track it? So we consider that to the airport, or the owners of the airport. We are equally there, we rent offices from them. So they control access of everybody, and it's a very serious issue. If this card is abused, apart from loss of job, you know what it means. So it's a serious issue. So if staff is that control, how much more a car coming in from outside? That is why the control is there. But like I said, it can be reviewed. Now we are organized. Now we are automated. You approach the airport authority again and register, so that when you are coming in, they have your particulars immediately. That is what. Let us not make it one-on-one. Please, so save time.
Please, because of please, sir. Please, sir. Let's clear the issue, sir. Once and for all. You can be of help to us.
Okay.
Sorry for interrupting.
Go ahead.
I agree with you totally, sir.
Yes.
That there should be security, there should be checkmate of every movement. We are not demanding that we should be going anywhere. There is a new car park now, sir. For example, I don't know whether it's under a franchise or it's directly under NACA. We have applied there. They almost grant our application before it is truncated. Okay. Somebody somewhere is doing that. Sir, you have a car hire service. Life is free for everybody. There should be competitors. Are you getting me? You get me? Do whatever you want to do in form of security. Put all your security apparatus in place. Let us see whether we are going to meet up or not. If there is any problem, call on us. We are going to answer you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't know if you can be able to.
If you are listening to me, you would have I'm still going to repeat what I said. You apply to the wrong place.
Okay.
You apply to a franchise. Somebody that have, in fact, the system of franchise in fan, they pay ahead of the year. And it's highly, of course, if somebody you already pay, whether you have generated the money or not, whether you don't generate, it's none of their business. And there's no way they're going to allow you. But if you apply to the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, those are the organizations that have franchise to those agencies you're going to approach. They are your competitors, they won't agree with you to come. But if you apply to Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria as a body, marshalling your reasons, they are the ones that will not agree with you. They are the ones that sign agreement with other body and give you limits how you come in. Every responsibility have a limitation, or you understand. So they will allow you in and limit your access, but it will be to deny. They are the ones that will now communicate those ones that are manning the whatever, what's it called, the parks. So that is the way I look at it. I think that is all you ask from us. Thank you very much.
I think that's
it's not NACA, it's Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA. Thank you very much.
All right, so I think you can see him later for more consultation on how to assist. And the next question is directed at the Shippers Council, Truck Transit Plan.
Thank you very much. My colleague sat on existing protocol. I will be standing. We hope by the time we finish, the existing protocol will not be dead.
Yes,
well, my brother,
yes, sir.
I need to make a clarification to you. There's a difference between a truck transit park and a truck park.
Okay.
The one that you made reference to is a truck park, like a parking space, like what you call a holding bay. Sure, you understand me?
Very well.
But what Shippers Council is more or less promoting is what we call truck transit park, which is usually for vehicles that are into highway traveling. But that does not mean that the Nigerian Shippers Council, as a responsive organization, is not bothered about the APAPA issue. And that is why what we have done, it is on record that the Shippers Council has severally organized stakeholders meeting on discussing the way forward. And we have also been able to impress it. And I guess the arrangement now, are you listening to me, sir?
Very well, sir.
The arrangement now have gotten to the advanced stage where you will have functional holding bays for trucks. My colleague, am I right, sir? Yes, sir. Those are the people in the technical arm. That's Mr. Nambo. Mr. Nambo, please stand up for recognition. He is the technical, or is an operation staff, along with them. Thank you very much. So what we are doing now is to ensure that every what do you call it, port terminal operator is encouraged to have a truck, an holding bay for their trucks and their whatever, so that you would have all these people parking by the roadside. And we've been able to have collaborative effort with Lagos State Government, with Nigerian Ports Authority, with major stakeholders like the flour mills and every other person, working towards designating such bay, so that you have the road free. Let me tell you the problem. The problem of Apapa, sorry to say, I'm not disrespecting women. The problem of Apapa is like a beautiful woman that we all rushed to, and we got ourselves satisfied of her beauty, and we want to leave her in her ugliness. Everyone rushed to Apapa. The moment they started siting tank farms in Apapa. I have been working in Apapa since 1992. The moment they started siting tank farms, I knew that this is the final rape of this beautiful woman. Because we were contending with problems of trucks. Then they now brought the problem of tanker. What strength does this woman have? For how long can she? You see, the most important thing is that we want to administer what I call an ad hoc solution to a problem that is deeper than that. We must ask ourselves, what exactly do we want to do in Apapa? The port in Apapa was situated far and away from the main road, from whatever. But we all brought development closer to the port. And now we brought tank farms to the port again. It will amaze you to know that Nigeria is, if not the only country, where you have such things around the ports. What do we want to do with Apapa? Any measure that is taken on Apapa now, if you like, create, where is even the space that you want to get land from in Lagos? Where? If you create anything, if Dangote like, let him put concrete, what will be that interlocking whatever in that place. You will see that so long as you keep on having so much pressure on those things, they will be sinking. Those things are not supposed, those trucks, those containers are not supposed to come and be packed there. If it is you, sir, somebody has placed something on your hand for too long, won't the hand be going down? So that's the same thing. So what do we want to do with Apapa? That's why the Shippers Council is very much in support of the federal government's attempt at developing the offshore port. What is that number? What is that port that is being built in Lekki now? Yes. That's what you see. We must move everybody away from Apapa. Apapa has already been totally bastardized. So the only solution is that let's have what we call a deep shore seaport. Shall you understand me? Yes, sir. That one means before you get to the place, you go travel where? Right in the middle of the sea, now in the port go there. So that's what we are doing now, promoting that. But meanwhile, we are equally working with relevant sectors, making amendments, ameliorations on the roads, hoping that Nigerians will let things work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I think it deserves a round of applause, guys. All right, quickly, the third question, and that has been directed to the LASMA representative right here, and that has to do with service lanes, and why don't they, as an organized union, or as it were, association, have the right to go off and pick a passenger? What does the LASMA law say?
I wish to stand on the already established protocol. Yeah. When you look at traffic management, you find out that Lagos is already congested. That's number one. As early as 4 a.m. in the morning, people have started coming out. That's we call that the AM peak period. Again in the around 4 in the evening to maybe 10, 11 p.m. shift again, there's always congestion again. And when people are moving on the express, you are saying that we should allow taxi operators, Abi?
Not permanent, sir.
No, wait. To maybe pick passengers on the service lane. Or drop or pick, anyhow. But the rule says that you must not pick or stop at a place that is other than a bus stop. Are you getting it now? So the bus stop is a place that has been scheduled where you can drop and pick. Whether you are coming from interstate, intra, or anything. Even vehicles conveying staff of maybe companies and the rest of them cannot be allowed to even stop anywhere to pick their staff early in the morning, because that time is a time that is the rush period. So when we concede and allow them to do such things, private owners don't say, I want to drop my wife, I want to, no. Every second you stay on that service lane, we are adding to the congestion. And that's why we know from our statistics that they are number one on the list of drivers that comply. We give it to them. They are number one. Even the so-called blue bus drivers and the red, they don't comply with rules than these people. But we will not still allow any vehicle to stop, pick or drop on the service lane. Otherwise, you get to a bus stop, you pick your passengers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oga Shitime Yondele, representing the GM Lasma. And I think we got that very correctly. Because of the ripple effect it's going to cause, we have the likes of the Uber and the Taxify. So once they notice they are doing that also, they also want to fight for what is not right, as it were, so that everybody will be able to have a field day. And at the end of the day, like you said, I also want to drop my wife or my children and move on also. Everybody like better life. All right, the fourth question was directed to VIS, and it has to do with impounded vehicles. Instead of you impounding the tool with which I would feed, I will look for money to come and pay. Why don't you just let me go send my ticket as it's been done in civilized climes? And what about stolen cars? How do you deal with it? Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My one question is on docket. When we are on roads during the enforcement period, we do give people docket, but we can't give irresponsible drivers docket. The driver doesn't have valid driver license, fake driver license. Now, for example, a taxi driver, when you give you, now you do not impound your vehicle, you collect your driver license. When you pay the fine, then you come and collect your documents. Then you go give it to irresponsible driver. That is docket. Docket has been issued for years in VIS when we are on the roads. That's that. Now on the pre-registration aspect. Pre-registration aspect, all over the world, you do pre-registration before you register your vehicle. You know, in America, they do the same thing. In Europe, they do the same thing. What you do is this. Your 17 digits of the chassis number, we have a platform. When you fix it, the manufacturing area, where that car comes from, the number, every details of that vehicle you want to register will appear in our platform. If you have been stolen, it will appear. We have forensic aspects at Ojodu. So that's why we do the pre-registration vehicle. Anytime you want to register your vehicle, you must go to VIS desk before giving you number plate. It has been started. It has been started here. Then the AMPL, automatic number plate recognition. AMPL is a course on its own and has been operating all over the world. The AMPL, you don't do pack. We are so particular. You don't do that one again. That is on technology. Deliver the bill in your doorstep. When you didn't pay for 7 days, you go to court. That is how you practice all over the world. If you don't, they are telling us that in America, they impound vehicle. In America, they impound vehicle. So when you didn't comply, you're gonna impound your vehicle. That is the system now. It has been started. Anytime from now, maybe after the strike, you just see a CIO personnel in your door bringing the bill to your house. Then you go and pay, give you 7 days. If you don't pay, you go to court. That is procedure. AMPL have started in Lagos State. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Oga A and Giwa, VIS rather, for that response. All right, please for the respondents, if we can do it in 1 minute, 2 minutes, so that we can take. We have like more than 6 hands already on standby. Please, sir, or better still, I'll just come to your face and give you this round of signal. All right, and we have the regularization of taxi. operators. I think that question is even directed to the Ministry of Transportation representative. All right then. So okay, Mr. Chijibakari, sir.
Well, you see, part of the August is duly extended. Part of the responsibilities of the ministry is regularization, like I mentioned earlier on. But as operators, you all know the steps. I think one of you commended Mr. Opefa earlier on. And you all know that government and governance is a continuum. Please, if and when you have any challenge, the ministry's door is always open. We relate with all your the heads of your union or association as unfortunately I can't recall the names of your secretary and your president as I speak, but these are people that we know in the ministry. If you have any challenge, please, in fact, as I speak, there's a desk officer responsible for your complaints. All you need to, you either come directly or through your union. You have a very established route that you can forward your complaints through. So don't think that because those you knew left office, those aspects of the ministry went away. They are still there. You are not exploiting them. Please explore and exploit the routes that are open to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I think the representatives of the Lagos taxi and cab operators right here present will be able to take these ideas and advices back to their different unions so that they'll be able to come together and forge a way ahead. All right, then, so we'll go back to the questions now. I just want to believe we could have one question each so that we could take everything at once and get responses from there. All right, then, please, let's have you. We already have a number stated. We'll come back to you, bro. All right, your name, your organization, and let's hit it.
Oh, I still stand on all the existing protocol. My name is Ambassador Taylor. I'm an expatriate from on-road safety and international lecturer from Spain. I'm part of the Transsafe 360. I would like to direct my question to like 4 agencies here. The first one, let me take it for the Taxi and Cab Association operators. How can you identify a genuine driver and be able to locate them in case of an issue? Because if I pick a taxi on the roadway, how can I identify that person? One, that's for you. The second question goes to the Lagos State Drivers Institute. If a driver who does not understand English language very well, and is there any provision for other local languages for proper understanding when they commit an offense or you want to educate them? The next question goes to the Lagos State Computerized Vehicle Inspection. What kind of program did you use to check the vehicle inspection to know whether the vehicle is roadworthy on the roadway? I have two questions for the NCAA. I do use the airports, Nigeria International Airport, most of the time, and there's something that happens most of the time at the airports, which I don't know if you can help to adjust, because if something wrong, they'll say Buhari, Buhari, Buhari. Now, after landing and luggage pickup, what you experience at the airport does not portray the good image of the nation. The custom, the immigration, and the fan. They are searching people's luggage manually when there are machines, equipment to make that happen. And they intimidate travelers. What are the plans on ground to improve and to sanitize all these acts by the NCAA? My second question is that for you is, are you saying that those thousands of drivers, because I picked this question from those thousands of drivers the cab's driver at the entrance of the airport that do hacks for, do you need a taxi? Because when you drop at the airport, you see thousands of drivers. Yesterday when I dropped at the international airport, I met a lot of people. Car, do you want car? Are you telling us that those drivers at the doors of the airport are legally and controlled and can be localized? And can be located, sorry, I'm speaking Spanish, can be located in case of anything that happens. Somebody picks me and my parents are waiting for me at home. Am I going to locate that driver two. That's the two questions. And I have the next question from my able Oga, the FRSC. Since you can use the Nigeria International Driver's License in abroad, because I'm a road safety officer in Spain, and most of people come from Nigeria and they use, and anytime we have problem, if the embassy control it, the police in Spain has to go through my agency in Spain. And since people can use Nigerian driver's license, international driver's license for 1 year, I think the government of Spain and Nigeria should be able to adopt a sense by allowing people to use the international driver's license over there. Because when we're coming home, like my license now expired, I can't drive today because I've not renewed. So, but I have an international driver's license, but I don't want any officer to stop me on the roadway and harass me. So if the international Nigerian driver's license can be used over there, I think the international over there can still be permitted over here. The second question is, how does your agency reduce the drunk driver on the road? Because in abroad we have all this alcohol tests, the ethylometers and all this stuff. So how do you reduce that? Breathalyzers, how do you reduce that here? My last question. Yes. Go. I have them in Spanish, so I'm translating in English. I have it for the VIS. How do your office detect stolen vehicle from abroad? Please tell people, because the reason why I ask this is that the television station you are seeing there here live to the whole Europe, and a lot of people who are watching, and I have some of the officers in abroad that will be watching. So please, they would like to know, how did you detect a stolen vehicle? Because we record millions of stolen vehicles into Nigeria most of the time. That's all for now. Thank you very much.
Wow, Ambassador Teller, all the way from Spain. All right, but before the response comes, like we reached the consensus the other time, we'll take it as it comes. But please, the other consensus will be 2 minutes max to each, question that you're answering. But quickly, let's make welcome one of our friends. They are also, part of this Transsafe 360-degree global initiative, annual stakeholders, and get together meeting for those of us in the transportation sector. And there's no way, like I asked earlier on, there's no way we can have a complete section without officer for Lagos State. We have this representative, Inspector Emmanuel Ulebo. Please, let's have my hands together for him. We understand that he drove in not quite long. Maybe he had some state functions and all that. But I like what is happening. We have a lady representing the sector commander, and now a man representing the state traffic officer also. All right, so it's balanced as it were. So ladies and gentlemen, quickly, we hit the ground running. Ambassador Teller, I know this is being transmitted, to your people also in Spain who are interested in transportation-related issues right here in Nigeria. And we're taking it out from the first question, which has to do with how do you identify a genuine driver? And I think that was directed to the taxi cab operators. Yes, sir.
Thank you. When you get a cab, you want to be a taxi driver, you must come to our office. The first thing to give you ID card. Register you bring the car. Later you register your motor under one pack. So there's nothing our boys can do. We know the place. Immediately you get the number of the people, we know this is the people of this so number and the ID card itself. So if you not register with us, you are not our member.
So how do you confirm the person is genuine driver? Address the person here,
and we are going to their house. Anybody say you are living in Ogun State, we must go there. And the guarantor, we must give us guarantor before we collect you.
All right, thank you.
And thank you, sir. I love that in 1 minute. And lastly, local language. How do you make this possible?
Thank you very much. Remember when I wanted to talk about last week, the first question I asked was, is there anyone here who does not understand English? Is that not correct?
Yes.
That is to tell you that we speak in the local language, we teach in the local language. All right? And our video is in the multilingual. That's English, that's Hausa, Yoruba, everything in one. So in case you don't understand English, we can take you in any of the local languages, the major ones. We have it already. So we teach drivers in any of our local language here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And without being, proud, I remember when they were about to start last week, I did the PG stuff for last week, right? I didn't know they were going to use it for you too. Now you people have been using it for like 8 years. Oh, they can renew, who are you? I've been now. That was even before traffic radio started. You know, you said you will come and see me. No, let me come and see you instead. Only because people say MCS, we heard your voice. You were the one teaching us how to drive. Even then, me said nobody drive. All right then. Thank you so much, our friend from Lagos State Drivers Institute. Is it Drivers Institute, right? Yeah, correct. All right, and we have for lab base, okay, program for checking. How do you you just put the thing, and is it programmed, or how do you really get it right? Because sometimes we have some checking on your car, and your mechanic will tell you, don't worry, but the checking of mini coco. So, but I will not bring it here. You not tell me no. You go and repair something of 1 million on it.
Okay, thank you. Perhaps I will still get. We will see later, and then I'll still make some inquiries from you. But if you want to talk about the application that we are using, there are thousands of apps out there. Lagos State requires that we also give employment opportunity to developers. So at the back end, we have a technical team that are developing the application locally, but business have to run. So we still have an international app that we are currently using, whilst we await the local one that is being developed here presently. And then I also, because we work with the VIS, I want to briefly talk about the AutoVIN, the Automated Vehicle Identification Number. It's a global thing, so it's not locally based. The database is international. So for Lagos State, if you want to register a vehicle, we need to pre-check the vehicle. The Automated Vehicle Identification System gives us the history, the original, where the vehicle was manufactured, where it was first registered, the first color, everything details is given to us. Of course, if the person decides not to register here, he will quickly drive the vehicle out of the state and then can do the needful anywhere. But if it's stolen, that is when we can be able to detect that here. So I think the initiative within the West Africa sub-region, it has started in Lagos. Thank you. Before my Oga can talk about it. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Please, can we appreciate our friend like this? That is Mr. Labi. And quickly, my road safety mama. This has to do with international driver's license. I think you actually brought that out when you were talking, and you said when you guys you could allow people, someone with an international driver's license to drive right here, but it's not legal. You could just allow the person. And he's saying international driver's license that you guys issue from here, they're being allowed in Spain, where he's from. It just came in last night. So why can't you guys allow those coming in with their own international, quote and unquote, to drive right here on our own soil? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ambassador Teller. Yes, I said that, but that is what is obtainable currently. Yes, sir, by law. And I want to take what you have given now as a feedback, which I'm going to forward to the appropriate quarters. Yes, why can't we also use the Nigerian driving license? Why don't we allow licenses from foreign countries to be used in this country? But now, as far as national road traffic regulation is concerned, we do not allow it. Thank you. And on the issue of reducing drunk driving, one of the ways in which we have been trying to reduce drunk driving, you mentioned it, the use of alcoholizers, breathalyzers. We have a standby team, a squad, which goes out regularly to ensure that this device is being used to test the alcohol level content in the drivers on the move. We have them. Guinness is also in partnership with the Federal Safety Corps, sponsoring the Corps to see that this dream is actualized. So we are still on that. And another way is education, educating road users, educating road drivers on the implications of drunk driving. The more you know, the better we believe that we'll be able to remove carnages on our roads. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Assistant Corps Commander Awalo Ukere. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, NCAA, I think you're on the hot seat this afternoon, Ogad. Carl, how do you decipher which is legal, which is not? Is it your purview?
I want to, with your permission, madam, I want to add my voice to Ambassador Taylor's request. I know that to get international drivers over there is more rigorous, very rigorous. People have to even get syllabus passed in stages before they are issued with license over there. I'm privileged to know that. And so if we give international license, it's recognized in UK, Canada, Spain, and the license got there is not allowed here, then we need to review the law. But that is just a way of backing. We review the law. It's due for review. Such laws sometimes are very, very old and outdated. On the issue of the arriving at the airport, customs, security agent, immigration, and all the rest, I think it's a question of knowing your right. You arrive at any airport. I've experienced this, I will mention in more than 2 countries where people also delay you and try to force something out of you. It's not limited to Nigeria. And no countries, who mentioned South Africa, that was my first experience. If you know your right, stand on your right, they will release you. I've arrived in MMA and people are trying to delay an introduction form of. In fact, I was enjoying it that it was happening. But the moment I asked 1 or 2 questions, they say, "Who are you, sir?" Should have told us who you are, okay? I say, "Abba." It's better I experience what I'm experiencing. So stand on your right, and if they insist, just seek to report. There is a channel of communication. Lord, that person, if it's established, will lose that uniform. That is the truth. It's just that people are so much in a hurry. Insist on your right. If you didn't have any contraband also, why do you want to part with money if you earn your money? So stand on your right. Get the particulars of the officer. Seek to go to if I go back to the airline that brought you in, I say this is what you are going through. A channel of communication will be open. It will be established who does that. That person will lose that unit. That is the truth. Try it, and you have at least you get my contact through this organization. On the control drivers, again, every good enough you can see the packaging. Every airport has a car hire that are registered with them. If you arrive at the airport, the car hire are the first protocol. They are there. Identifiable, you see there. If you now decide to walk away from organizing cell and go to the cluster outside of control area, it is you that is looking for maybe something cheaper. It's you that, for example, people get to the airport, sit down in their car, buy a ticket from somebody they don't know. Go to the counter. Which kind of big man you do inside car and beckon somebody to buy you ticket? They will send a dummy. Get to the airport, Nigeria get to the other side, even minister queue up, IG queue up. The only person that can be exempted will be president, who is on humility, that have been arranged already ahead of his arrival by the Minister of External Affairs. But as soon as we arrive here, we are about the law. Or other side, we obey the law. So please, let's just learn to do the right thing and be able to checkmate all these excesses. Control cab drivers like this, their own, is equally registered at all the airports. They are there organized. Don't leave them to go and look for a cheaper one. Permit me to use that word because that is the only reason why you walk away from the organized one and go to far away looking for somebody that is standing on the road that is beckoning on you like a roadside funny behavior people. Please, let's avoid that. Patronize the organized system and you'll be able to, even if you forget your things, they will bring it back for you.
Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, please let's give it up for Mr. Adurugwe. And he has spoken a lot and extensively about the NCAA perspective. And if I would add my voice to that, I remember a countless number of times when we've had, head of our state house come on radio, i.e. the last month GM, Lale Musa, and people complain about something And they will, when you ask them to come back it up with evidence or come face to face, they'll tell you, no, I don't want to be an otaje. But this person has deprived you of, your right. Come and do the needful. We refuse. And I think that's why we keep having the wrong ones amongst the right ones in our midst. Yes or yes?
You are right.
So maybe when we start changing that narrative, then it will help us. All right, then we take this one from the VIS, still on what Lakpi is already added on stolen vehicles.
Thank you very much. Now, the Lakpi officer and senator. But how do we detect stolen vehicle? It's very, very, very confidential and top secret. Eh? Yeah, we have authentic department here. Now, when you bring your vehicle in America, we have 17 digits. In Europe, you have both engine number and chassis number. If the 17 digits, one digit is missing, we take it to the forensic. Forensic now, we've integrated our database all over the world, all over manufacturing company, both Europe and America. So it's very, very confidential as a civil servant. I should not tell you how do we detect. America will not tell you.
Lastly, you have a driver that is already certified by one of the agencies of Lagos State government, which is VIS. So why another certification? Does it not amount to double taxation, because you also pay for that? And it comes up every year. International. This is just a comment about a driver in Europe coming to Nigeria to drive. The road safety will stop. I just have an information to pass, and that I'm aware that the Nigerian police issues the international driving license, which if I have a driver's license, a valid driver's license in Nigeria, and I want to go to Europe, for instance, I need to get that international driving license from the police, which will allow me to drive in Europe. And this is because of the International Driving Convention, which Nigeria is a signatory to. And it also reciprocates. If you are in Europe, those countries in Europe that are signatories to this convention, all a driver in Europe needs to do, if he has a certified driver's license in Europe, and that country is a signatory to that international convention, is to also get an international driver's license aside the national driver's license. And it comes to Nigeria, you can drive. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my learned colleague. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, as it stands now, we might have an inconclusive stakeholders meeting for today. We'll be having another one. It's an annual thingy. If we should explore all sides as it were today, then what would be the need for us to have a convergence of such in nearest future? So please, as a returning officer, we might not take any more questions. I'm sorry, please. I seek your indulgence. So, but of course, we will deal with the questions. I have like 10. Sorry. Okay. An observation. I have ACP Akyosho Abayomi. Please, let's appreciate him, ladies and gentlemen. He's one of the Transsafe 360-degree, participants.
Good afternoon. My name is ACP Abayomi Akyosho from Force Headquarters, Transsafe. I want to correct one notion. You can use international driving license outside Nigeria based on it is issued by the Nigerian police. You cannot use driving license in Nigeria, Nigerian driving license in outside country. So outside country cannot use their own driving license in Nigeria. Once they come and they want to drive, they will come to Nigeria and collect an international driving license. That is how it works. Because that is based on the existing law.
That's what we're saying, that
it was they sat down. It was countries. They sat down together. It was a world arranged thing. It's not only Nigeria.
in person of CSB, Margaret Okowo. So please, I think it's proper, let's let him sell his agency, as it were, to us, while we'll be able to take the responses to the questions asked already by the journalists. All right, sir? Inspector. Please, can we appreciate the inspector Emmanuel Ilebe?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome. All protocol observed. I stand on the existing protocol. However, I'm sorry, I came in late. I went for another assignment. The reason of us being here is all about security on the road. I think a lot of things might have been said, but however, let me just chip in little so that we'll be able to get ourselves involved. If we can look at the issue of people driving either in the daytime or at night, most especially our road network these days, apart from the hold-up system, apart from bad road on our roads, a lot of people use that avenue, a lot of these bad boys going there, rob people, and they need to break in glasses and whatnot. But a lot of people need certain things to do to avert or avoid those things. But on the part of like hold up, a lot of us when we are driving, we expose our things out there, and all these boys believing that they are hawking things, are hawking goods, breaking our glasses, drive our hands, put their hands inside it. So we should try as much as possible to avoid those things, exposing our things to people passing through. Because when they see those things out there, they will now force themselves to try to get it out. So we'll try as much as possible. But if you have bag, try to hide it. If it's under your bag, under your seat, to avoid those people not being attractive. So that's one of the issues. And most times, when we're driving, when we're having big phones, you are not in a hold up, you wind down, you continue to receive a call that nobody will ask you. If somebody asks you, you tell them that you are close to Buhari, nobody can ask you anything. So you will carry your phone and then you're making your phone. So you'll be attracted. They'll try them to go and snatch the phone from you. So when you know you're in a hold up, even if you want to make a call, so try to desist from that. Because we know the vehicle is moving at a snail speed. When they come close to you, try to attack you, get the phone, get your chain, and wind up properly so that you can be able to avoid it. I know it might be a little bit difficult, but when you get those things out from attraction, they will not come near you. And at times too, most of us, if you have maybe flat tires or vehicle breakdown on the road, I appreciate the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command these days. I know in those days, before you look at patrol vehicles at certain points here and there, if your vehicle break down, try to manage it to be close to where patrol vehicles are. If when you are very close to that place, you need to get your vehicle repaired, or when they see their presence there. I mean, you can do one of those days when you not see police along the road, but especially in Lagos here, before you move like 10 posts, you see police vehicle parked by the right side, by the side. So you park your vehicle there, get it fixed or get the towing vehicle from there and move the vehicle from that place, and most especially at night. So don't feel that you are all, even if there's light everywhere. It has happened to me. When there's light everywhere, but if that place is lonely, people will still come there and attack you. But these days now, when the petrol vehicles are here and there, or even if there's no petrol vehicle, when you stand there a little bit, see petrol vehicle passing through, stop the road. Give to them, please, this is my problem. Can you help me? We reach time. If you don't have a tow rope, anyhow, you should have what you can do. Get your towing vehicle and take you out of that place so that you'll not be attacked. Then the other one aspect of issue, like in Lagos here, I think it's probably a victim of one chance. Most especially, a lot of us, when we are, because of, I know maybe economic situation, instead of people to park, you feel that place will be more expensive. Then you try to look for roadside, they call solar. You leave the park, so you to enter the vehicle from the park, you go nearby to stop vehicles so that it will be cheaper. And before you know it now, you have entered into the hands. They will move you to where you did not expect. I know if you enter from a park, hardly can they move you out from, because you know they will trace them
to that place. So let us try as much as possible to avoid those things. Irrespective of whatever, if you look at the difference, it will not be much. It will be very, very small. But if you know you are going to somewhere, try and get the specific amount so that I can take you to that place. So let us avoid that kind of sharp stuff. Then another thing is there's a lot of us too that use the perfect cards to talk of giving gifts to people that you don't know. Just as much to minimize it. Because when you see somebody, maybe a lady, you feel, oh, let me help him. Like a lot of us now that doesn't pursue women much. So when we are going, you see a woman that you want, okay, let me stop, let me give her a lift. Maybe you can exchange your phone number. You don't know what her mission be there. So try to avoid giving lift to whom you don't know, so that it cannot take you to another thing that you do not expect. So, other things that I know all of us now know what we are supposed to do. Most of the other things that carry out over that we may forget. But this is just kind of reminding us that there are certain things you to do to avoid. At times you do some certain things. You know, when you think deeply, you know you may be the cause of that stuff. Inside you know, oh, if I have done this is what I have done. So let us keep on reminding ourselves to avoid this kind of thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Inspector Emmanuel Labor of the State Traffic Office, Lagos State. And they mentioned so many. Why he be saying that when he mentioned woman own, you they laugh, Mr. Spokesperson. Now that time sweet you pass. So now they call Okwashewo. Now they call Okwashewo. Now the norm. No, but if as a taxi driver you just drive, you can't see woman, if they hungry you go stop, you go carry am abi, una no go talk price. Then when she no gree for you go come say, madam, pay me my money. Pay me my money. Hey, mo ti gbe yin onibombo. Mo aja ile se abule gba. Oya 55 lówó yín. Ani 55 báwo ṣe be toast mi torí mo gba. Ìwọ lẹ wá fẹ́ ma price mi. Ọ̀gá ẹ jẹ́ kó rí yín pé o máa rí yín lọ́jọ́ mi, ó ti rẹ̀ mí fún ẹ̀yin. Alright, but of course, really, I love to assist, give rights. But with what the inspector just said, it gets me scared, especially because you don't know who you are carrying, sir. No, because in our country, when you carry man now, 14 years, gay. So I don't carry men. I don't carry men, I carry women, sir. Now 14 years. And if you think about it, 14 years, when they catch you and take you to prison, the prison where they won't put you, not be honeymoon, not be men food there. We're supposed to get a different prison for gay, and different prison for real armed robbers. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll tackle the questions that has been asked from the editor, Transport Day. Alright, Frank Etroba. Okay, so we'll kick off from the Shippers Council. I think that was the first one, funding and insurance. Please, we go.
Thank you so much. Sir, I will need you to pay attention, sir. The Nigerian Shippers Council is not in the business of helping people to source for funding. You understand me? I'll tell you why. The business of import and export, it is not what you rush into. It is expected that you would have done your survey before you come into the business. What we do as an organization is to make sure that we interface with government agencies that are saddled with the responsibility of funding import or export. That is a place like Nexim. Do you understand me, sir? But that we are going to give money to any importer or exporter, it is out of place. I will tell you one thing. As much as possible, when we get involved in making sure that we create a level playing field, because our role as a regulator is to make sure that there is a level playing field at every given time. You must not be seen to be tilting too much to a particular stakeholder within the stakeholders gamut that you cover. I hope you understand me, sir. So what we do is we arrange, like, okay, if you are a registered shipper, because we have what we call